What up? Yo, yo, yo. So we got a little defense game here. Random item defense. I've never beat it, actually. I've never beat it. It is extremely hard. You do have to get some luck involved. And some would argue that Goliaths are kind of useless, but sometimes I try them. But yeah, you basically get 4 main units: Goliaths, Hydras, Marines, and Dragoons. And of course you kill the waves. You don't have to kill everything by the timer, but if the unit count, as you can see, it just goes around a circle, square, I guess. If the, should have shot at the queen. This is the random item aspect of the game, random item defense. Yeah, I think it's 150. If you have 150 units in your little square, then there you go, we get that unit. Then you die, then you lose if that happens, so don't let that happen. Corsairs are not the greatest at the end of the day. They're good early on, like especially for this, because as you can see, a lot of these units have armor. So my Goliaths only do that much damage, but since this is the total damage of 2 missiles, that means each missile gets affected by the armor, so they basically do 1 damage per shot. So that's no good. Hydras do 60, Marines do 50. It's basically the Corsair is the only one putting in work right now. And here's how you roll your unit. Roll a random one of those 4. It costs 20. So let's get some of those. Oh, it looks like I'm going to be trying Goliaths potentially here. And you make heroes by putting them on the blue beacon. And you can sell units for 15 right here. Yeah. So that's the gist of it. Yeah, I might go for Marines and Goliaths, I don't know. As you can see here, one of the random units you can get is a Duke and a turret. The turret's not good. Well, early on, same as the Corsair, it's okay, but certainly is not the greatest later on. And the tank is okay. I've never had much luck with it, though. And of course, it's okay because you can upgrade alongside with Goliaths. So if I ever get like 2 or 3 of these, I'd like to go for Goliaths, but it's hard to know when you're going to get them because it's all based on those queens. The queens come every 2 rounds. Actually, we got one here. Perfect. We got a Dark Archon. That's actually pretty good. So you can mind control various rounds. I forget what next round is actually, but I don't know if we'll mind control it or not. So yeah, I've gotten 0. Carrier, you can't mind control that, unfortunately. And it does cost 150, so you do want to save the energy if you want to pick up some good units. Carriers have no interceptors, so they're totally useless. And you also can't even trade in I don't think you can trade in air units. Could be wrong. Maybe I'm wrong. But I know you can't trade in the Rashigal, but you might be able to trade in uncontrolled air units. I don't think so, though. I don't think so. I think it's just ground units. I think tanks are next, so I'm probably going to mind control that, because that's actually pretty good. If I do that, of course, I'm going to be upgrading my Goliaths. So upgrades are here, of course. You can also get a nuke from the random unit, so So yeah, actually might as well just preemptively make that in case we get one. Because it does look like that I'm going to be going for Goliaths and Marines. That's the plan here. It's never worked out that great. Usually people like to go for Marines and Dragoons because you can make Phoenixes and they shoot a lot faster, so that's good. Let's just go for tanks here. Oh, I gotta be careful not to misclick too. Just be patient. There we go. We got a nice tank. And hopefully we can run the clock out enough so that we can get a second tank with this energy. Should be able to. Yeah, I guess we'll start turning these into Allens. Should also probably upgrade them a bit. Let's do that. Oh, we got tons of glass and Marines, okay. I mean, that's kind of what you need, is just have really good luck. Because you generally want to go for 2 units. Oh, come on, dude. Generally you want to go for 2 units, not 3 or 4. Dang it. Thought the Corsair would target that, but it did not. Let's see what we got here. Here as well. 39. Hopefully we don't kill all the units before we can do that. I'll have to make sure you get. Okay, it's. Oh, really? Come on. Yeah, you want to make sure you hit those ASAP. Otherwise, there's my nuke. Another tank. Perfect. Yeah, you want to make sure to kill the queens as fast as possible, because of course you can get a Dark Archon, so you might want to mind control ASAP if units are still out on the map, stuff like that. And there's of course tons of other things you can get. But this is looking okay. Tanks are pretty beefy for upgrades. And we have a Ghost, so that'll complement our Marines as well. Let's just go for it. I think we're just going to stick with the strategy. If we get some bad rolls, then so be it. We'll sell them. You just have to sell them off. As we do for these Hydras. Let's get more nuking. Nukes are great because they do 2/3 damage to all the units, because all the units have more than 500 health, so that's good. Alright, that's looking pretty good. How do we just roll those? That sucks. 2 Hydras, that's alright, we'll sell them. Just going purely mech and infantry. Start running shit up too. And another reason why mech is good in this case, having a Dark Archon. Come on, get right in there. Little nookie ninja. Oh, come on. Vultures come out pretty soon here. Oh, there's still a tank left. That's too bad. I don't have energy for it. Definitely not ready to get done. Yeah, there's my warning. I'm at 100 units. I think I should be good though. I guess we want to get my units for sure. Oh my gosh, that's good. That's good. Oh. I think this one will kill it. Ooh. Close. See, that's pretty effective. Get nukes. It's just one here. This cash is showing up here. Alright, let's hit that. Oh, there it is. That one I got was a civilian. It gives you 25 extra seconds. And I think a little mineral boost as well. So if you're ever in dire straits, you want to use that. If you can, though, it's best to save it till the very end, because the last level is insanely hard, and you actually have to totally kill every single unit before the timer runs out in that case. So it could be pretty tough. Sorry, kind of want to get on the right in the corner there, but that'll do. Still at 100. As you can see, these Goliaths aren't super effective at killing a lot of stuff. So that's why people prefer the Marines. Dragoons do the most damage. Goliaths do pretty good against air, I guess, sort of. No. They really are kind of weak all around, but at least they do pure damage, like Dragoons do explosive, same with Hydras, so later on there are a lot of light units. That's a bad roll. I think after these Defilers are... I don't know. Come on, bro. That's what happens, you get just fucked up rolls. Just, yeah, oh my goodness. It's just horrendous. It is what it is. Alright. Alright then. It's annoying, but it is what it is. Oh, come on. Cut it out with the Hydras here. I mean, you get money back, right? But it's 5 minerals. I mean, it's a quarter of money to lose, and can be bad. Yes, those guys have decent upgrades. Okay, looks like we got another one of those. Not the greatest, honestly. I prefer to have just straight up cash or something. Like you can roll 100 minerals from the Queen. Alright, we like Marines. Certainly like Marines. Vultures are after this, right? I'm pretty dang sure of that. And we got a nuke. Also try to time your nukes. Like sometimes if there's slow air, you don't want to nuke right away because you want to wait till they get all the way around. Big cluster of units. Actually, I might have... No, I think it'll be pretty good. Just in time, I think. Yep, looks good. Pretty much maximum, I think. Alright, there's a good roll. Nice. Come on, Goliaths. I've noticed they kind of take a while to catch up in terms of damage and stuff. Oh no, don't transform. That's one thing you gotta be careful of too, is if you just spam out a bunch of probe units, sometimes you get 2 Goliaths targeting a unit and then they both land on a beacon. And then you end up making a hero, which means you lose an extra 5 minerals if you're going to sell it, so do that. Oh, come on, bruh. Alright, take the... There's the vulture, let's get that ASAP. Actually, we might lose here, shit. The vulture will help us a lot, though, so let's do that. Nuke is ready, let's definitely do that. That should be pretty good timing. Yeah, this is a tough round because the vultures they linger for quite some time. We're only at 100 though, so I think we'll get through this here. That was a nice help. It's that nuke lands. Units also stop spawning at. Oh, that sucks. That's another thing about the game is you can't continue on without 2 or more players, and unless you hit level 15. So if they die, that means I die. I don't know why someone did that. At least make it like level 5 or 10. You know, I would have liked to keep going. I think I was fine there, but oh well. GG. A little introduction to this game. I don't know if we'll play too much more of it, but been in the recording mood, so there you go. Anything else I should add in there? Yeah, what else? You can get Tassadar, which is really rare from a queen. You can get queens, so you can spawn broodlings, which of course kills a unit. And you also get the broodlings, so you can sell them. So queens are actually pretty good, because you can get a lot of cash flow if you have 2 or 3 of them. What else? Yeah, mind control, whatever units you're going for. If you're you're getting Dragoons, you have that one round of Archons that you can get a few there if you have one or two Dark Archons. Those are actually, Archons are really strong. And there's also High Templars later on, so you can always mind control 2 or 4 of those and make 2 more Archons. 1 or 2 more Archons. So yeah, didn't get to fully showcase that game, but it's pretty fun. It's very hard. Like I said, I've never beaten it. I've gone to the last level several times, but it's just a matter of killing everything before the clock runs out. It's quite tough. Some guy said he did it with pure Hydras. Most people say the only times they've won is with Marines and Dragoons, so, or pure Marines. That works too. Kind of do have to get lucky to not get really shitty rolls too. I've had really bad streaks on that one before, so. Yep. Pretty fun one. Very tough. I recommend if you're looking for a challenge. It can get kind of boring though, because it's only 4 units that you're able to intentionally create and manage, but if you get some good random rolls, you can kind of build around that and stuff. So. Oh, and you can get Infested Kerrigans, which is good for the Storm. Somehow, I don't know how they did it, but somehow Storm is buffed in this to where it does like tons of damage. Like you'd think this isn't a an EUD map, I don't think, or maybe it's an old school one. I don't know, but yeah, Storm does a ton of damage. It doesn't just do 100, so Storm is actually useful. And when you get 2 Infested Kerrigans, you can morph them into a Lurker, which is kind of weird. Hydras are very tough to use, but if somehow you get some really good rolls of Kerrigans and you happen to go Hydras, then that can be pretty good. What else? I think there's a super rare chance of getting an Arbiter, which does like basically one-shot damage. Never gotten that before actually. And you can also turn 2 of those ghosts into a hero ghost. I forget. I think it's just Duran. Samir Duran. Yeah, and you get those. You can get those turrets and tanks. I think that covered all the. Oh, you can get a another civilian, but it's not a civilian. What is it? Oh, it's a ghost. You can get a ghost down in that little box where the civilians were, which you can use to kill 20 units on the map. So another unit to use if, or another specialty, I guess, to use if you're in a pinch. So I think I covered all the stuff you can get there. Yeah. Mind control is probably the strongest aspect, because you can get fire bats, which can reach in some spots in the corners, and you get ghosts later on. So fire bats, or yeah, Dark Archons are really strong, and you can always mind control the air as well, which do decent damage. So yeah, you can't upgrade them, but they do a lot of damage. Anyways, I'm rambling, I guess, but that's the whole rundown, really, of that map, so now you know. GG.